All right, we have Frank. Coach Will, whenever you're ready. Oh, it looks like we're still muted. There we go. All right, Will, whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you. Let's go ahead and start with Alan Sliwa.
Hey, Coach. Hey, just wanted to get your thoughts on the quarters that you guys were effective defensively versus the quarters that Clippers were putting up high amount of points. What did you notice? Are there a few things that you can point out that kind of stood out to you? I know it's just game one, but just some stuff specifically that stood out.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think we were just more connected in that second quarter last night. I think that was our best defensive quarter. Obviously, we got down. I think our sense of urgency picked up, and they have different lineups out there. You know what I mean? Their starting lineup with Ibaka at the 5, with PG and Kawhi doing the damage gave us some problems early on, and we were able to get some of that under control in the second quarter, but then PG got red hot in that third quarter, and gave us problems there.
Dave?
Frank, not to draw too many conclusions from one game, bear with me, but you guys were most of the year the leaders in terms of block shots last season, and you changed your personnel. Obviously, Dwight and JaVale aren't here anymore. Do you feel like that can be a asset or a strength to your defense again this year, or will it have to be kind of a different type of thing with the different type of guys you have?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can be every bit as effective, but we probably won't be as highly ranked in terms of blocks, because obviously JaVale in particular, and also Dwight, two of the best shot blockers in the game. Mark and Trez are more position defenders, charge takers. So, like I said, I don't think the defensive efficiency needs to be any less, but it just might not show up in that blocks category.
Bill?
Hey Frank, maybe just a more general question on the matchup last night. People, I'm sure you wouldn't want to frame it this way, but the battle of the Western Conference is frequently looked at as you and the Clippers, kind of on a collision course. Did the matchup last night feel different? Did it feel like a continuation of kind of the rivalry you guys were kind of building last year, or did it feel like the start of something different, something new?
Yeah, I think it felt different than last year. Definitely. I think last year we were both new to each other, as their team was new to their team, new personnel and whatnot, and our group obviously was new. So I think we were just trying to feel each other out and do the best we can. This year, at least that game last night, obviously it was the ring ceremony game, and felt like they were motivated to attack the champion, and that's what we're going to see all season long, and we welcome that. If we're playing against teams' best every night, that's going to sharpen us throughout the course of the season. If things are easy, we'll never really reach our true potential. We want to be pushed, and credit the Clippers for playing a great game, coming out of the gates strong. But it definitely felt different than last year.
Hey Frank, sort of building off of Dave's question, last year with Dwight and JaVale, obviously different players, but a lot of what they did was so interchangeable in one sense that when one came on, the shot blocking, the physicality, the rebounding, the other would kind of pick up. How much of what you guys are doing rotation-wise this year is a function of Mark and Trez are very different players from each other, and when they're on the floor, they don't really overlap in the same way that JaVale and Dwight did?
Yeah, I think it's less interchangeable, and they'll have different roles in terms of how we use them, both in the offense and in the defensive schemes. I mean, there could be times where we put Trez on other teams' 4s and let AD guard the roller. There could be times like that, and obviously offensively, Mark is going to be spaced around the 3-point line a lot more than Trez being down in the dunker or rolling hard to the basket. So they are different. We did have a little bit of a, a similar role for both JaVale and Dwight last year, but this is a new team, and, we'll customize based on our personnel.
Johan?
Hey Frank, after going over the film last night, was there anything you were surprised or encouraged by as far as maybe something you guys are further along than you expected at this point?
Yeah, well, we didn't play a great game, but there's always stretches during the game or even individual possessions where, you see what we could be. I think maybe the one thing that stands out with that question is how much Dennis Schroeder was able to get in the paint, and I think that's going to be a real weapon for us this year with his speed and penetration ability, and that was one thing. But I think there was a lot of defensive possessions, that I was highly encouraged about. More so that more possessions that I wasn't happy about, but you see the tools that we can have a great team this year and a great season. But like we've been saying, it's going to be ugly at times early on. That's just the nature of this quick turnaround, and we got to fight through it.
All right, last question, BT.
Hello, Frank. How are you?
Good, Brad. How you doing?
Doing great. What ways do you plan or even hope to get more involved in your offense? You talked about that a little bit last night. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, we have some action where we throw the ball to him at the top of the key and activate all the cutters around him, and we just didn't do that very much. That's really what I was talking about. Part of that is that he wasn't in the game very much because of foul trouble. But, it's definitely something that we can throw the ball to him up top. I also think we can post him, either against his natural matchup or, when they try to put the other team's center on Anthony and put a smaller guy on Mark. Mark's been a post player his whole life. So there's a lot of different ways we can use his skill set. And that's not to mention, all the ways that we can space him around the perimeter, and give our basket attackers more room.